So in this video, we're going to be talking about a website chatbot that can handle intakes and also handle any frequently asked questions for our law firm. This is a case study for a particular law firm. I'm not associated with this law firm. They did not pay me to make this chatbot. This is just to show you guys the potential value and the potential use cases of how a website chatbot powered with AI could help you with lead generation, qualifying people, and also handling some sort of your intakes process. This is just for educational purposes to show you the potential value of how an AI website chatbot could help you with intake and also frequently asked questions. This will also be a series where I'm using this chatbot to build an MVP. So this is the episode 1 of it to show you where I built it up to. And then obviously in the coming episodes, I'll upgrade the chatbot and add new features and all that stuff. And then again, just updating you on what I'm doing. And also, if you don't know who I am, my name is Mula. I run Retric Solutions. We build and implement AI automation systems like this one to help law firms save time and work more efficiently while leveraging AI in their systems. So with that being said, let's hop on my computer and then I'll explain everything. So as you can see on my screen, this is an overview of the whole entire chatbot. Again, I built this chatbot on voice flow, but you could also build it on BotPress to again, they all work the same way, but I prefer BotPress, but for the sake of this video, I built it on voice flow. So this is the law firm that I built the chatbot for. Again, they did not pay me to build this chatbot for them. This is for educational purposes only, just to show you how this law firm could potentially use this chatbot. Right. So as you can see, they have a lot of information on their website. Obviously, looks clean, good to go. You can see their staff members, their lawyers, and all that stuff. And then you could also learn more about their different practice areas and all that stuff. Right. So if we go back to the chatbot, it all starts with the obviously the text before anything to let the user know that this transcript is being recorded. Again, just letting them know by using this chatbot, they're agreeing to the privacy policy. So any information that they're submitting to us, they're submitting it willingly, and they are allowing us to contact them after, right? So once they read that information, they could select one or two options: free consultations or I have a question. First thing first, we collect their first name to make it more personalized when they're interacting with it, because people like hearing their name or seeing their name and all that stuff. So that's a way you could kind of add some sort of personalization to a website chatbot. And then it will just ask a few qualifying questions, again, what they're looking for: auto accidents or personal injury, because again, one of the two of the main things that this law firm primarily practices in is auto accidents and personal injury. I could also add all of these other stuff in the chatbot as well, but for the sake of the video, I just want to show you the skeleton of it first, and then in future episodes, I'll show you more in detail what's going on and then also upgrading everything and all that stuff. So again, once they select one of the two, they'll be directed to here where we'll ask more about the incident. So let's say, for example, they selected auto accidents, then we're asking them the first qualifying question: where did the accident take place? Because again, we're collecting as much information that way the law firm, after the lead submits their information, the staff could overlook the information that the lead inserted and decide whether they can handle the case or not. So after they submit their city and state of where the accident happened, they'll also enter the date of the incident, because again, that's another important piece of information. They'll collect the injury, because again, so if you get into an accident, obviously we want to document, or we want to collect as much information about what happened to you, how you're feeling. That way you could help the lawyers build a case for you, right? So again, it will just collect that information. And then after that, it will ask for any additional details. Again, just probing to collect as much information, because again, once we have all of the information from the first touch point, the lawyers or the staff could go in the back end, analyze the information that we got, and then decide whether to call the lead, because we could either represent them or call them and let them know that we can't handle this case, but we could refer them to somewhere else. And then after that, it will ask for, again, more injuries And then after that, it will ask for their last name because now we're trying to collect the information to contact them and all that stuff, right? So it'll ask for their last name and then email, phone number, usual basic information. And then after that, it will send the information to the internal team / storing it into the CRM. And then if they have any more questions, they could ask it here. And then since the chatbot is connected to the website, aka the law firm's data only, if I go here, as you can see, these are almost all of the pages that this website has. So if I go to car accidents, if I go here, copy that, car accidents, if I go back to the chatbot, you could find all the car accident, bicycle, bus, driving, drunk driving, motorcycle. All of the web pages that this website has is being used as a knowledge base for this chatbot. That way, if the lead is asking any questions about the firm, the chatbot could answer only because it has the knowledge base of the specific firm. It's not asking Google or looking elsewhere. It's using specific data from the actual law firm. If I go back to the workflow, it will just keep asking them if they have any more questions. If they do, then they're just getting they're gonna be prompted back here. If they don't, then it will just end the conversation, right? And if the chatbot doesn't have the answer to a specific question, then it will let the user know that it doesn't have any information on that specific question. It will store that question for the actual staff member to review, and then it will go back to here if they have any more questions. If they don't, then it will just end the conversation there. So that was a basic overview or basic walkthrough of how the chatbot works. But now I will show you exactly how a lead would interact with the chatbot and then how it's storing the information and all that stuff. So I'll click start information. By the way, this is just the testing site. It won't look like this. It will look much cleaner on the website. But since again, I'm not working with this law firm specifically yet, maybe in the future when they see this video, but since I don't have access to their backend system, I can't incorporate the website here. But if they were a client of mine, then I would easily just go into the backend and insert the chatbot here. Right. So going back to the chatbot, let's pretend like I'm an actual lead interested in this firm representing me for my case, right? So I'll just walk through again like a regular lead. So, hello, welcome to Serum and Carey. I'm Nora, an AI assistant here to help. Right? So you just select one of the few, free consultation, and then it will respond to your question. Again, the reason why it's taking I set it to take a little bit like 5 seconds to respond because we want to give that human aspect of things. Again, it just depends on the preference of the law firm, but if you wanted to respond faster or slower, it could all be tweaked in the back end. So can I have your first name? Let's say Mula for personalization, right? And then it will respond to it real quick. Cool. To get you to the right direction, Mula, please select one of the following that best describes what you need assistance with. So let's say, for example, I was in an accident. So I'll click auto accidents, right? Again, this is one of the practice areas that this law firm, focuses on, right? And then it will say, thanks for letting me know. I'd like to ask a few questions to see how we can assist. May I ask where did this take place, city and state? So since this case didn't happen in Minnesota, we'll say Miami, Florida, right? Miami, Florida. Then I'll explain why later, and then what date? Let's say July 19th, 2024, right? So it feels like you're interacting with the human being, but even though it's a chatbot, but then again, the response times could be tweaked to be even faster or slower. And then, did you suffer any injury that required or will require any medical treatment? So we'll just say yes, right? And then it will respond to it real quick. I'm sorry to hear that. Again, it's adding that personalized slash empathetic, sense of communication. So I'm sorry to hear that. Can you tell me a little bit more about what happened? Be as detailed as possible. So this is where we're prompting the user to give us information about what happened, and then we store that information so that the staff members could go in the back end and analyze the data and then see whether they can handle the case or not, right? Or they could potentially build on it, if that makes sense, right? So let's say I was driving from, um, let's say, from dinner with friends when I got into a collision with a drunk driver on I-94. Or something like that. For the sake of this video, I won't put in that much detail because I don't want this video to be an hour long or something like that. But again, just to showcase how it will work, I'll just put in some basic information, right? I understand. Are there any additional details that you'd like to share? Since the lead might be forgetting some details, we're just, again, probing to collect as much information. So here I would say, yeah, it was around 9:30 p.m. and I was with a friend who wanted a ride back home, right? And then you will again select that information, store it, and then it will add it back into our CRMs and I'll show you. And then it's adding more, like just being more empathetic, right? I can imagine how difficult it must be, Mula. Can you tell me a little bit more about the injuries? Be as detailed as possible, right? So here we'll say um, bruised left arm and shoulder with pain on my lower back, right? Again, for the sake of this video, I'll just put in basic information, but if a lead was actually looking for representation, they'll be even more detailed here. Again, as you could see, adding even more empathy on the message when they're interacting with it. I'm sorry this happened to you. I'd like to connect you with our legal representative who can assist you further. What is your last name? And then I'll put in my last name, right? So this is where it's collecting all the personal information, like basic contact information. And then what's the best email? Let's say test@gmail.com, right? And then after that, it will store that information and then it'll ask, all right, what's the best phone number we can use to reach you, right? So let's just say 812 right? Storing that information there. Right. So after sending that phone number, it will say, I'm sending you details right away and someone will contact you as soon as possible. Did you have any questions? The reason why it's double sending it is because I forgot to remove something in the back end over here, but essentially that will be fixed on the final version. This is the episode 1 of building the MVP. So obviously there will be a little bit more. There will be mistakes here and there, but since this is a series, we welcome mistakes. That way we could fix it for when the product is actually ready to launch and all that stuff, right? So it will say, I'm sending your details right away and someone will contact you as soon as possible. Did you have any other questions? Let's just say yes, for example, to test the knowledge base, right? And then we'll say, it will say, what can I help you with? I'll say, where are your offices located? Right? So it will take that prompt, my question, look through the database or the knowledge base. So in this case, the law firm's website data that we collected, and it will give us the information, right? So Minneapolis, one of their location is in Minneapolis, Minnesota. The other one is Lakeville, and the other one is Duluth. And then it will source where the information got it from. again, see, for this first episode, I wanted to show you the rawness of things, and then hopefully in the next coming videos, we polish everything up to make it look nice and actually working in perfect order. So as you can see, it gave us the answer, and if we go here to back to the website to find their locations, you can see it has Minneapolis here, Lakeville, and Duluth, right? So that information is accurate, right? And let's say we don't have any more questions for the sake of the video. And then this brain right here just it tells us where it got the information from. But the user won't see this. This is just for us, the developers. We see how it's working and all that stuff. But essentially, if it's live, the leads won't see this. And then as you can see, it will say, sounds good. Have a good date, Mula. Right. So now that we've done interacting with the chatbot and we gave it our information, let's see how it stored the information in our CRM. So in this video, we're just using we're using Google Sheets as a CRM, but obviously it will be integrated to your law firm specific, or in this case, this law firm specific CRM. So as you can see over here where we entered our information, it stored the information here. So mulanamboya@gmail.com. Here's the number that we put, Miami, Florida, July 19, 2024. And then it collected everything that, all the information that it asked us to provide. So as you can see, the website chatbot could basically handle your intake for you, right? Again, this first episode is just the rawness of things. This is me building an MVP and taking you through my journey from start to finish. That way you could see how we develop chatbots and any other AI automation systems here at Retric Solutions, right? So I hope you could understand how you could go from basically taking all your website traffic and potentially increasing the amount of leads that you're going to get by simply having a chatbot to interact with it. Obviously, the lead could read through all of this, all these web pages and all that stuff. But if this law firm had a website chatbot right here, I could basically just ask it any questions about the law firm and I'll get my answers just like that. Because as we know, time is money and people's attention spans are lower and lower as each day goes by. So by having a website chatbot, you're essentially kind of recouping or increasing the chances of you getting more leads through your website. Because if you're getting more traffic, then by leveraging a website chatbot, you're essentially collecting more leads that way, that you didn't have to spend any marketing ads on. Your SEO is working, so you might as well convert that free traffic into, leads that could potentially be paying clients. Over here, what I didn't touch on is if they had a question, then it will just let's actually walk through this real quick. I'll go back. I'll walk you through the other option, right? So this transcript will be recorded. Again, this message is mandatory. It will tell them straight up. And then let's say I have a question, right? It will collect my basic information first because since the lead is just looking for a quick answer, we want to make sure we capture the lead's information first. Then later on, we could contact them we could contact them to reach out to see if they needed actual representation or keep the lead warm and all that stuff. So in this case, we'll say Mula, right? And then we'll collect my last name. Again, this delay time could be changed. Again, since this is the first episode, we're welcoming all problems that we could interact with. That way, as the series goes on, we could fix these issues. And then email, again, just test@gmail.com. Oh, I typed that wrong, but yeah, another feature that I'm looking to add is to make sure that the information is stored in correctly, because as you can see right now, it just took the email, even though I misspelled it right here. So hopefully in the next future episode, we could fix that to only allow accurate emails to be collected. And if I misspelled it, then it could ask for me to, enter the email again and all that stuff. And then phone number. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right. And then after that, it will then prompt me to ask a question. And then let's just say, do you guys handle auto accidents? Right? Again, this is just a simple question. Obviously, the question will be more in detailed. And then this, again, this is just the back end of the systems. So the lead will not see any of these. This is just to show us how the AI is performing, the amount of tokens it's using and all that stuff and where it's getting the information from. And then if I had another question, then I'll be here. Again, the response could be tweaked to be more, you know, to be more client facing instead of back end facing. But again, for the sake of this video, this is the developer's view on building AI website chatbot MVP. And then we'll go from there. And then let's say, again, where are your offices located? Right? And then it will just continue looping right here. As you can see, if you have any more questions, it will continue to loop. If the website can't answer if the website chatbot can answer the information, then it will just store that question and then end the conversation or ask them to ask another question. And in this case, we'll just say no. And then it will say sounds good, and then end the conversation there. Or actually, it would say, would you like me to notify our team to contact you via the information you provided, right? Since this lead didn't really interact with the first prompt where they're actually looking for personal injury or auto accident representation, we don't know whether they're just shopping around or they actually need help. So this step right here, it will confirm whether to notify the staff members to contact this lead or not. If they select yes, then obviously the staff members will reach out to him or her. But if they say no, then we'll still collect the lead information, store it in our systems, and then start the lead nurturing process. Not to spam them or anything, but just keep the lead warm just in case they have a case in the future that they need representation for. They'll instantly remember that this law firm can help them with that, right? So just to stay fresh in their mind, we'll add them into our lead nurturing system to, again, just keep the lead warm. And then for this case, we'll just say no. And then it will say, sounds good. Have a great day. So with that being said, I hope you could see the basic overview of how a website chatbot could help you handle intake and also help you with the lead generation as well. Because with the AI website chatbot, you can instantly save your intake specialist hours from, basically, if you go back to the website real quick, if I go here, essentially, yeah, they have a button to prompt the lead to get a review for their case, but they're just entering first name, last name, email, phone number, and a basic message, right? Now the staff members has to call them and then make sure that they can actually serve the lead, right? So basically when the staff is calling the lead that submits this form, yes, they're collecting leads, but they're going in blind. They have to start from square one. But with the website chatbot, as you can see here, we collected some form of information about the case. That way, when the staff member is calling the lead, they could be like, oh, yeah, I see you submitted your information from our website chatbot. You were in an accident at this date, at this time, or whatever, whatever. Tell me a little bit more. Right. So they're going in with a little bit more information compared to if the lead just submitted their basic information on this contact form. I'm not saying this contact form doesn't work. I'm just saying if you want to arm your staff members with a little bit more information while also helping them save time, you could leverage AI website chatbots. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, this is episode 1 of many. I don't know how many videos of these I'll make, but I just wanted to take you through the actual journey of building an AI automation system from start to finish. That way you can see all the mistakes and the issues that come about when building an AI automation infrastructure and how to solve it and the different testing that goes on. So hopefully this series you could kind of wrap your head around what goes on in the back end. That way, when you're working with us to build these automation infrastructures, you know that one, they've been tested. There was a lot of mistakes that went through it, but we solved those mistakes. And four, you can sleep better at night knowing that we spent hours and hours developing your specific AI infrastructure. That way it works better for you and also helps you save time and work more efficiently. So if you are a law firm partner or a legal operation manager and you're looking to add AI infrastructures into your business, schedule a call with me down below. And with that being said, I look forward to seeing you on the next one.